Welcome to JB Trio Podcast, Season 1, Episode 12. My name is Lee McDonald Jr.
Christopher Woodmansey.
Mark, the Ancient Warrior Merchant.
Joining us this week is Mr. Kiefer Boyer. How you doing, Kiefer?
Doing good.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, buddy. So, this past week, we've bowled week 35 for the JB Trio's second half. So, we're near the finish line. The next week is our position round. So, we'll go over that. But to go over first, what happened last night was sort of a first for our league. We've had a pre-bowl that happened. The two teams that are fighting for first, one of them our guest, Kiefer, his team Cankles and Quasis, Team 10, faced off against Team 5 for Family, which is the Pride team. Since neither team could be here next week, and they're both in first and second, and it's position round, they decided to pre-bowl for next week. They bowled last night, and Kiefer, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody how you guys did?
Oh, we did pretty good. I mean, we came out on top. It was like down to the wire going into the first match. We were only up 4 points. So that's basically 2 individual points. I mean, it was close. First match, David Sr. with his stick shot like a 270 something. Like she shot like 40 or 50 pins over his average.
Yeah, David shot great that first game, and then Junior, I mean, as a team, they bowled great. Andrew was the low man in that game. He still shot solid. He shot like a 225 game.
That first game going into the 9th and 10th frame, I was almost looking at being up like 30 points, but then he rang a 5-bagger together, and I only ended up beating him by like 10.
Yeah, I mean, they shot 723, but you guys shot 709, was only within 21 pins, and it came down to the 10th frame. And
then the second game, pretty much we did to them what they did to us. Logan shooting, I think going into the 7th frame, Logan was already shooting 220. I think he threw the front 6. And then me and Andrew, who I was bowling against, we were pretty neck and neck. He ran into some carry issues with the 10-pin, which is what I kept looking for with my shot because I was so paranoid about that because my spare game has been horrendous the past couple of weeks. But luckily I didn't run into it too bad. That second game, I strung like a 5-bagger the last 3 frames to win by like 40 pins. Yeah. And then going into the last game, we were only up 4 points still. So it was pretty much just even. And then Sierra got lined up. She was running into some ball issues. She was in between balls and lines. She couldn't carry for anything. Some nights it's just like that. But she did get lined up, and she put together a good game, and we swept them the last game to steal the win.
Yeah, it was crazy. So the total pin count, they won by 21 the first game. Both teams shot over 700 with the handicap. The second game, it came down to the same pin total. You guys won by 21. They won by 21 the first game. So by the third game, it was tied. So it was so close, but the Prides fell off. The third game, all 3 of them just had carry issues. Juniors both pretty good, but you guys held it together. Logan shot great. He shot that 255 in the last game.
Yeah, the last game, I really was just paying attention to me and Andrew's scores. I think I only had 9 sticks on him, and I was just trying to make sure I matched what he did every frame at least.
Yep.
And he was ahead of me by, I think, 10 pins. And I think it was the 8th or 9th frame, he 210. My jaw literally dropped because I was like, holy shit.
Yep, I remember.
I was like, I gasped. I was like, there's no way. And then that sealed it for my point. And then Logan, he had his sealed up once he threw that 7-bagger. And it was like Sierra pointed out, the one game that she won from Senior was her lowest game. Her first 2 games, she bowled over average, but he just had a phenomenal look.
I think he shot 240, 230 scratch the first 2 games, but the last game he only shot 150. She was solid. She was
she was bowling good for what look she had. I mean, some nights it's just hard to get carry like that. Honestly, way more of a strike fest than I thought it was going to be.
It was. Both teams were definitely hyped up.
So were you guys on the high end of the house or the low end of the house?
No, we were on 7 and 8, and I was totally not expecting the pin carry to be as good as it was. Normally, it's better on the high end for me anyway. Strikes left and right everywhere. Yeah. Everybody was carrying like 4 7-10s. I mean, trip 4s. It was insane.
Yeah, and a few of our JB Trio bowlers bowling on the Wednesday league, George and Ricky, come down to watch. It was fun. I come from my house and watched you guys, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, you guys killed it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's what I was talking to David Sr. about, and I was talking to Andrew about. I was like, if you take both halves of the whole league, this was the most intense match I've bowled in the whole league. A nail biter, neck and neck. I mean, it was crazy.
All the way down to the 10th.
Yeah.
The 10th frame of each game, and then coming into the third. You guys kept it going, because I know it's hard when you guys have that much intensity for both teams to keep it up all 3 games, and then you guys kept it going all the way through, and that's what teams need to do to win, and you guys did it.
So what was the end result?
36-12 they won.
Okay. Now, the reason I say that is your team there has done really well both halves. I mean, I think your year-to-date winning percentage is about 58%, which is pretty close to the top in our league.
There's only one other team that's tied with them. I wonder what team that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually happens to be 2 rednecks and a Yank. Mark.
Yeah.
I was looking at that after we bowled Tuesday. I was like, wow, we're literally dead tied for overall wins and losses record with Mark's team.
Yeah. How do you feel about the championship match?
Man, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it because, I know the first half we bowled each other once. I think the second half we bowled each other once or twice. But I know me being the anchor and then Ron being the anchor, I have horrendous luck against Ron.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, Logan killed me one time. I mean,
well, so the first time we faced each other, y'all swept us, and then the second time, Sierra swept Kyle, and then Logan swept you, and I beat Ron the first game, and I was like, wow, I have a really good look. This should be hopefully okay. And then he stomped me the next 2 games. I think those 2 games I shot 220, 230. He just shot 250, 240. I
guys had a good first and second half. Unfortunately, Chris's team is right there with the vacancy in percentage for year to date. But, I think it's about 28% winning percentage.
I mean, it's the best of the best. So, because they're very consistent, and we're very consistent as well. So,
yeah, you are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be a great match, right? It's going to be a great match. So, I believe it.
Yeah, you're great.
It's going to be the match of the decade.
Next week when you bowl the vacancy team.
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
That could get you guys out of the gutter, though. If you guys win big and chance the team doesn't win, you guys could be next to last and will no longer be last.
See, exactly. So you're calling us out too early, Mark.
That could be. And you still have a chance to get that 7th place spot, too, like your guarantee says. Because then otherwise you got to come to the bowling alley the following week in a dress.
Well,
oh, no.
No, not going to happen.
Looking at the standings here, 40 points out of 7th.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
They still have a very slim chance, but it's a chance.
Yeah, I'll be rooting for Beer 30 to probably take about 30 points or so.
No. Chance is going to choke. Chance is going to choke, and like he did to me. He's going to choke like he did to me and just let it lose all his points. And
so last week 35, Cranky Acres, my team, we ended up taking 36 off of I'd Hit That. Wasn't the best night for that team. Usually they're juiced up and ready to go. Richard bowled pretty good, shot 616, but Dwayne struggled a bit. Only shot 597 with a 258 game, so that means the other 2 games must have stunk. So my team won 36. The next pair we had Chance against Chris. Beer 30 going against Team ICP, the infamous Team ICP. Oh, yeah. You and Camilla were late showing up. What happened?
We had a cat fight out in the park.
Well needed rest.
I thought I heard that.
No, maybe I tried.
Unfortunately, when you guys showed up late, you guys had a really slow start. Finished pretty good, but that slow start, it was just so hard to come back from, and only ended up taking 11.
I think Chance wrapped up the total after the first game.
I think he did. He did. He shot 265 on Chris, and Chris only with 147.
Yeah, so I think he had already wrapped up total, so he got he got a couple of points right off the bat.
He did, but that was the only points he won that first game.
It's true. That's the only points he did win. Chris got him the other 2.
Yeah.
So the next pair we had Triple X, Christian's team, who Christian bowled pretty good, and Mike Henderson ended up winning Bowler of the Week that week, so he bowled good. Nice. They ended up beating on the Prides of all teams. This is probably what killed the Prides the most, is going into the pre-bowl that happened last night against Kiefer's team. The Prides only ended up winning 16 that night. They probably missed a big opportunity when they lost to Triple X the week before. And actually, they bowled pretty good. David Jr. bowled 660 that night, but they still only ended up winning 16. Kiefer definitely should probably thank Henderson and Ensline and Christian because they killed it. They bowled probably the best they had all year.
See? You're welcome.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, we bowled against Ricky's team, and
I was just coming to that. You guys ended up bowling Ricky. Ricky killed it. He shot 609 that night, and y'all were on 31-32. So it was Team 10, the first place team, Cankles and Quasis against Team 7, Chris's and Ass, Ricky, and even had George and Joe's. They both subbed for Jerry and Greg that night and both bad, but Ricky held him up, and he seemed like he was the best one on the pair that night. So they ended up winning 34 against you guys. If the Prides they'd have won, they should have had more of a cushion, but for you guys that didn't happen, and you guys ended up winning the whole thing.
Yeah, we did get fortunate on that, and I was worried because when Ricky told me he had George subbing for him, because George is pretty consistent 650. So
yes. Easy.
I got really fortunate that he didn't like 31-32, and it seemed to not like him that night. So
you wonder if George gets worn out, though, after bowling 3 games earlier in the night.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Because, 6 games in a night for a guy his age, it's not easy.
After coming off heart surgery, too.
Yeah, it's true.
And then, of course, we had Mark's team bowl against their favorite team, the Blind. Probably for the first time this season, they ended up taking 40 points, even with Kyle's bad first game.
Yeah, with this 113 game. We can't let that pass.
Yeah, see, exactly.
We can't let that pass. Look at the only thing I can say about last week is if we could have grabbed another 2 points, I would be facing Ricky next week. You guys are facing Chris as an ass, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying. We would have flip-flopped.
We would have tied, and I would have been facing Ricky in the second spot. And instead, I got to face what? Rich? Yeah. And last time I bowled him, he shot a 7-something. He killed me.
There's going to be a new award that we're going to do called Bowler of the Year, most pins over your average. So we're doing Bowler of the Week every week. Bowler of the Year is the one that does it for the whole year. And that was the week that he shot that 718 on you, on your team against you specifically. Bowled 205 pins over his average, which is amazing.
If he can get the same drugs that he used that night, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. If he can hit the pharmacy and get the same stuff.
Yeah, he definitely was juicing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, though, he's been killing it lately. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and bad as Dwayne has been bowling, he's really kept him in it. There's 2 people I really wanted to stay away from this last week, and that was Rich. Didn't want to be bowling him, and then I didn't want to be bowling you, Lee, because it just seems like every time I bowl you, you take it to me, And,
man. I think we faced each other on a position round, and then our normal league, like a month span, and I had not left one 10-pin against you.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that in my whole lifetime, in a month span facing one team and not left one 10-pin at all. It was crazy.
Yeah. And, so another 2 points, and we could have been in much better shape. I'd hit that can be very tough.
Oh, yeah.
If their carry is good, then they're tough. They're really, really tough to beat.
They really are. And especially with the most improved average, I'm looking at the most improved guys, and Christian tops it off. He was at 21 pins for when he first started. I'm actually in second. I can't believe it. 16 pins.
That's creative bookkeeping there.
And Logan is up there too. 15 pins over his average from when he started. And
there's another guy that kills me.
He's been crushing it. Yeah.
I'll say this season, Logan has killed it. Been consistently 625 plus. It's crazy. He's definitely been the most consistent. I think I'm the most over under out of all 3 of us. But
now you guys are pretty close to average. Will he pass you to be anchorman in the big match of the season?
I don't know. I kind of hope.
That's 7-17.
He might end up facing Ron.
Shit. I mean, he can have Ron all day. That's fine. Yeah, I know. And I know it's fluctuating. I know some weeks we had the same handicap, 19 pins. And I think it was one week. I think there was 2 weeks in a row I shot really, really good. And I lowered my handicap to 7. It's close. I don't know. Him shooting that high.
Interesting.
I didn't shoot low yesterday either. I mean, I think I shot like a 6.
Yeah, you shot good too.
Passes me. He can have Ron all he wants. I'm totally fine with that.
It's been a little bit of a struggle for Ron. The last couple of weeks, he's thrown a tremendous first game, where he can't miss, and then he just falls off the mat. It just, something happens. And
well, I don't know what happens when Ron sees me. I think he foams at the mouth and just throws strikes all
maybe
night.
that's it.
He's on Rich's juice.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at most points won per individual for the season. First place is Logan. He's won 171 points, which is 64% of his points, which is by far the most and killing it. The second place guy is at 59%, which is David Pride, Sr. He's won 161, but you're in third. You're also at 59%. You're at 161 wins.
You must have been bowling Chris over a handful of times, though.
We only bowled him 1 week, and I'm telling you, every time I looked at the next week's lane assignments, I wanted to bowl Chris so much.
I think everybody in the league does.
Yeah,
Very
even the vacant team likes to bowl him. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just,
God, if you could bowl him every week, you'd be getting the most individual points.
very competitive. We give people their money's worth.
Chris, see, you're a big influence on everybody.
See? Everybody wants a piece of us.
Everybody loves Chris.
Mhm. See? All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Now it's time for Chris Probes the Guest. Now, this is where we get to know our guests. Today's guest is Kiefer. He's a long-term buddy of mine. We did tournaments together. Now he's defending his first-place title against the old man, Mark Merchant. Now we're just fighting and probe our guests. Now, Kiefer, you've been bowling for some time now. But what got you into bowling?
I started
What made
originally
Kiefer?
bowling from when I was 10 years old, when I lived in Paris, Texas. Not a lot going on, and my parents put me and my brother in a youth league, and from there it just kind of took off.
Any collegiate?
No, I didn't do any collegiate, no.
High school?
No, there was no high school bowling in small town Paris, Texas. So I did youth bowling all the way till I was 16, almost 17, and then I stopped. And then once I graduated college and I started living down in Dallas, I got bored and I started picking bowling back up, and then it just kind of took back off.
Wow. Okay. Any honorable mention scores?
I've got 2 300s. I have 1 800.
One of those 300s is on the JB Trio League.
Yeah,
I
well, it was
remember
funny.
it was-
Yeah, so what's funny about that was the very first week of the
one.
season,
Week
week one.
Yep. I got it on video on our Facebook page. I remember that. You had 300 the first night, and I think, was it 2020? The 2020 season, was it? Or 2019?
19,
2019,
yeah.
that's
It was-
it.
And
That's
that
it.
Pandemic.
that was before you started videoing them?
No, that was when I got Kiefer's on video.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Because it's
Yep.
still on the Instagram page, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Yep,
great.
it is.
He's got one of my 300s on video, too.
Yeah, Mark, of course. He was our
Chris,
very
he's got.
first one,
Does he got
actually,
any
I
of
think.
yours? Oh,
I think that's my 297.
That was when the famous video of Mark choking himself. He did the Chris choke
Yeah,
video at the end.
he pulled the Woodmansey.
That was
Did he foul on the field?
I don't think fouling wasn't a thing back then at that time. So
or no, that was when the fuse box blew. I'll bet.
I think maybe you need to start videoing Chris if he's got a shot for a 700 series.
We'll call it the Chris honor. What is it called? The honor score. It's a Chris honor score.
funny. So Kiefer, we know why you got into bowling, but what made you want to continue bowling in Dallas with the group you have now and your future wife and kid?
So actually, what's funny is bowling started out just something that me and Sierra could do together. I met Logan when he worked at the bowling alley, and I've become really good friends with him since the years back. And what was funny is us bowling JB Trios this past season, it was the only league we could find that would fit our options for our work schedules. Having it being, a smaller league and trios, it kind of helped a little bit with the baby too, since she's been around for the past 15 months. We've been really fortunate with it. We really enjoy it.
Awesome.
Nice. So are you coming back in the summer?
Possibly, might have to just to defend our title.
Exactly.
I like it. I like the attitude. I'm looking for a partner for the summer.
He's asked that to every guest we've had all season long. and their response has been the same all the time.
It's all been maybe.
No, it's a
I want to say it, but you don't know what they didn't want to say it.
Maybe we might have a chance if we can get Ricky as the guest next week that he might finally get a yes.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to ask. Not going to ask. So when bowling JB Trios, see a lot of different bowling and teams and people you like and dislike. But what team do you see when you walk in on Tuesday night and you see the team? What makes you very happy to bowl against, or what team do you fear bowling against?
I think fear bowling against would have to be, oddly enough, the team we have to bowl on the 24th for the overall championship is Mark's team. Yeah, because I feel like that team, for me, I don't know what it is about Ron. He just has my number. I don't have good. Even I think even when I very first bowled JB Trios, I could not get Ron.
He's a tough one.
He is. I feel like he's just on with that unique release that he has. It works.
Yep.
The team I really look forward to facing every chance I get is either Chris's team or Lee's team.
Oh, whoa, man.
What? Like what?
Yeah.
I remember last time we bowled you guys killed us. We had just come off of bowling Mark's team and ended up crushing them like by 40. And the week before we had bowled Chris's team, crushed them, took like 40. We took 48.
I think. But then when we bowled Chris's team, we took 48 too.
Oh.
No. It was, but you gotta admit, it was a hard 48. It wasn't an easy 48. It was a hard 48. Okay.
And then to Kiefer's team, and they smoked us. I mean, we'd come off from being off of last place for a few months and felt pretty good. We creeped up to 4th place, and then we said, "All right, we got to keep it up. We got to bowl Kiefer and them," and y'all just crushed our dreams.
So what's so crazy about it is I feel like some weeks I like to bowl the teams that I know I can like haggle with. You can like shoot shit with and like talk shit with.
Yep.
Like with Chris, I know I can do it, and it's gonna be no issue.
Oh yeah.
With Peyton and Peyton's another one of those bowlers. He has my number 2 some nights. Like I feel Peyton when I bowl him, it's either I sweep or get swept. Like there's no in between. There's no splitting with Peyton. It's just. Yeah. And then Lee Jr., whenever we bowl him, it's easy 680.
Oh my God.
I don't know how. Every week we bowl him, it's 680.
Oh well. Every so often I get lucky.
So both your teams took 48 off Chris,
but it was a hard 48. It wasn't easy.
And then Chris by himself gave us 12.
Oh yeah, with a 9-pin.
Yeah. that doesn't sound too fair.
Every week we bring it up. I love it.
Okay, that 12 that game you're talking about, Mark. I had the front 8. Okay,
you did. You did. We'll give you credit.
And I missed it with a 9-pin. Gosh. Okay. So now to finish up, Kiefer, I know you like bowling against me, and my team likes bowling against you. My team is considered like a mock-up team. We get the team prep for the next week. So, so now, if you can bowl a different way out of the bowlers on JB Trios, who would it be? If you can bowl a different
Logan's. Easy.
Ooh.
Oh, that's 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks. 2 weeks in a row. That's 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks.
He's got the whole side of the lane to himself.
Yeah.
He's got easily 500 plus revs. He's got, that just creates pin action, all the speed he gets. Yeah, easily. If I could take that one, if I can't bowl my way, I would bowl that way.
Qualifying 2-handed bowling next summer. Fall.
Darn.
You know what? I've seen Logan practice one-handed, and it's almost there.
But he has improved a lot. I mean, Louisville's not the easiest place to bowl.
No.
Just watching Logan, because he's been bowling that league on and off for at least 5 years, to come from a teenager to young man that he is now, and just watching him just improve. I mean, he's going to easily take and compete for highest average if he continues on with the JB Trio. So it's going to be pretty neat to watch. I don't know if he's got any honor scores, but I can guarantee this next year coming up, he's going to get one.
Well, me and Sierra were talking about it. So that second game that we were bowling against for family last night for the championship, going into like the 6th frame, Logan had the front 6 or the front 7. And at the end of the game, me and Sierra looked at each other and we were both like, we thought he was shooting 300. I mean, it was just,
he was on target.
He was nailing the pocket every time. I mean, it was.
I can definitely see him though pulling a Woodman's and getting 11 in a row, throwing a 7.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah, I can see that too.
Well, maybe we'll catch it on video one day.
But, we got a bet between the hosts here every week of whoever can get player of the week. And the good thing is we won't count Logan's 700 series. And so there are 2 teams already gone out of the mix. So there's a good chance that maybe only 10 people will bowl this coming up week. And one of us will have a shot at having
You
it.
got 1/10 of a chance. I mean, that's...
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people listening, but you never know. I'm thinking maybe if nobody does win it, we'll just let it die out. Nobody wins it, then that'll be it.
So
I agree, because I think Chris is already going to have to bust open his kid's piggy bank.
So just out of curiosity, when we bowl Mark's team on the 24th, what lanes are we on?
You can have any pair you want. I get asked that every year.
31, 32. 31, 32.
Y'all want 7 and 8?
I don't think 7 and 8's a good deal.
Oh, man. But yes, any pair you want. If we want the middle, the ends, the high end, anything you want.
Okay.
That's
good to know.
interesting. Yeah, that is good to know.
Yeah.
So you never answered the question. You want to be partners?
Maybe. We'll see. I think Sierra's deliberating whether to bowl this summer or not.
Boom. It's a maybe.
We'll see.
We all hear that, guys, all the viewers. It's a maybe. It's a first maybe.
So the last day is the 24th. I think tryouts for the team are the 26th or something like that.
Boom. So you guys is locked. Go ahead and write it down, Lee.
Don't do it to yourself. Don't.
Oh, man. Cankles and Quasies was at 500 points, but since they pre-bowled last night, I think they're going to be at 536. Four Family was at 496 going into next week, and since the pre-bowl, now they only won 12, so they'll be at 508. Chris is an ass currently in third, is at 466. We'll be bowling them. My team, Cranky Acres, has 450. And like Mark said earlier, they're 2 points behind us, so they're at 448. And they're going to bowl I'd Hit That at 430, so they're 18 points ahead of them. Triple X, currently in seventh, is at 402. And they're going to go against Beard 30. They got 374, and then a Team ICP 362 going against the vacant team. So that'll wrap up the position round coming up next week.
I know Kiefer is a fan of I'd Hit That. I seen him with a shirt one time that said I'd Hit That.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big supporter of them. I feel like
you have the shirt.
If you can't beat them, join them. I mean, hell, I think last time we bowled them, I think I was bowling with that shirt on, and I beat them. So I mean, if we were bowling them for the title on the 24th, I'd wear the shirt.
Yeah, sure.
So you'll have to wear a redneck shirt when you come to bowl them on Tuesday.
I may have to.
I might have to borrow Kiefer's shirt for next week.
I may have to borrow Ron's glasses when I bowl him or something. Yeah. Maybe it's something in the lenses.
Or you could pull the Triple X trick and buy maybe their team of pizza and see if that works.
Put some Benadryl in it.
Yeah.
So is it possible for Chris's and Ass to jump into second mathematically, or is that out?
That's
I think
doable.
It's possible, yeah, but they'd take quite a bit. You know what? They'd have to win like 40-something, right?
Four Families at 508.
So it'd be 42.
Yeah, that's...
So, I don't know. 42 might tie them. What is
42 would tie. Yeah, 42.
Yeah, they'd have to get 43 to pass them because they'd lose out on the pin count. 48's possible for a sweep. They can get second place. And I remember David, when we was leaving last night during the pre-bowl, he said, Lee, you guys are bowling. Make sure you guys win.
Yeah.
So we had Mike Henderson as bowler of the week.
We did.
Great honor. But who was Woodmansey player of the week?
Of course.
We got to make sure we mention that.
We have to cover the most infamous award, the Woodmansey
Proudly.
Award, goes to what did we say? Chance Defoe.
Chance
go
Defoe.
Yes.
Won it. Chance Defoe.
And he did it against our honorary Woodmansey.
He did.
Yes.
Chance, what happened with Chance is he shot 265 the first game, and he fell off and bowled 180 the second. So congratulations goes to
Chance Defoe.
Woodmansey Bowler of the Week.
Yeah, and you know what? I think when we had him as a guest, he said if that ever happened, he'd give up bowling.
Yeah.
Well, he's out.
Chance, we know you're listening. Chance, I'm sorry.
That sucks. He just came off of a year off.
Well, go back on. Get back on.
Chris, any words of advice to Chance?
It's okay to lose to me. I mean, a lot of people has. You're not the first one who lost in my gloriness. But get better. throw the ball better. I can't really say much about bowling. It's not that hard. Yeah.
That's why I think next season we need to put something on your league standing sheet where we can post bowler of the week and the Woodmansey bowler of the week, on this, your bulletin board. Your bulletin board.
Man.
And
That'd be fun. That'd be funny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
even a
yeah.
photo.
Yeah. Needs to be on your bulletin board.
So just to go over the bowler of the week was Michael Henderson with 83 pins over his average. So he bowled really great that week. Honorable mentions goes to David Jr. He shot 662 and 77 over his average. And Christian on Mike's team. So both guys on the same team. Christian bowled 71 over his average. So he did good. I think we all know who is going to win bowler of the week next week for week 36 for that pre-bowl from last night. I think we'll have the predictions.
No,
there.
we're not going to count that.
Oh, we have to count that.
No, it's not on a Tuesday night. I say we don't count it.
It's on Tuesday night.
I say if it's not on a Tuesday night, we don't count it.
Really?
So we may have to count it.
Come on.
Unless if he gets beat, somebody could beat him.
Hell no.
And unfortunately, we didn't have any ladies that bowled over their average. So nobody. I guess they're maybe the
Wow.
blind. Darn.
Wow.
Yeah. First, it's never happened for us. I know we don't have many ladies that bowl the league, 4 altogether, but nobody bowled over their average. So no bowler of the week for the ladies this week.
Okay.
So how many pins over Logan's average did he bowl?
Shot 717. So I think that is, what's he at, 196?
Yeah.
196, trying to do quick math. That's
Okay,
what,
196.
590, no, 580.
588. He had a 7 what?
717. So
That's 129.
120.
So,
yeah.
Chris, you're out.
Man.
So it's just up to you and me, Lee, that we might possibly do it. But
Well,
No.
hey, Chris is going against the blind team, so you never know.
nah, if we were talking 50, there'd be a shot.
No, I'm gonna get it next week.
You know
Shit,
what?
you'd have to break 700.
Next week.
Done it.
We'd have to get that on video for sure if that ever happened.
Next week, guaranteed.
Or
Why has it be an or?
dress.
Why has it be an or?
Or you wear a tutu the last week.
Oh my
Well,
god.
he was going to wear a skirt and bowl as a girl so he could win $50 off me and Lee.
But you
No.
would win bowler of the week that way.
Yeah.
Man, that was a lot of fun. Man, Kiefer, thanks for joining this week, buddy.
No,
Yeah.
thank you guys for having me. It
It
was a
was
blast.
Yeah, hey, look, congratulations on your big win last night.
Yeah.
And definitely look forward to facing you guys in a week or so. Be nice.
No, I know, man. I'm excited for it too.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of fun.
I hope it's another nail biter. I mean, I think it'd be
Me
great.
too. Congrats again, Kiefer, on winning the second half championship.
Well, thank you, Kiefer, again, as always. All right, guys, thank you for hearing us shit talk about our bowling and how much we suck as a team. Please come back for episode 13, where we will announce that ICP will take place number 8. So over beer 30. If you do not come back, you'd be like Chance, losing to the Woodmansey Award. Thank you.